Okay. Hi, I'm Emily from the English department, and I am here today to interview John Sorber, and he is from the music department. Thank
Hello.
you for being with us today, John.
Thank you. Thanks for asking.
Yeah. I'm going to be asking you some of our interview questions today. So I don't know if you've seen this, but the first one is, do you have a favorite food truck or local eatery?
I do not have a specific favorite food truck, but I love any food truck or any eatery that is authentic, local, amazing food. And my wife and I switched to vegetarian a few years ago. And so, especially, I love vegetarian food, but for local eateries, definitely pita kebab,
Mm,
planing mill, and then just anything that is amazing and authentic and wonderful.
ah, great
Love
answer.
food.
Next question. What is the main reason why you chose teaching?
Well, I actually originally I thought that I wanted to be a vocal performer. I went to Reedley College and sang with Clark Skogsberg, and he was an amazing voice teacher and a great mentor. But I decided that I wanted to get married, and it just turned out that I fell in love with teaching, um, and so I think it at the time it was a way to make money, but then I just absolutely became passionate for choral conducting,
Mm,
especially.
nice. And what would you say is your proudest non-teaching moment?
Oh my goodness! So I got to be careful not to get in trouble. Uh, my proudest non-teaching moments would be, of course, um, I'll say the getting married and having my kids first.
Of course.
And then during COVID, my daughter and I, for her 21st birthday, did the John Muir Trail.
Oh,
And so it 135 miles, and we did a through packing thing. It took us about 24 days. We took our time, or maybe it was 27 days. But on her 21st birthday, we were at Wanda Lake at 11,000 feet, and so we love backpacking. She spent her 18th birthday on top of Mount Whitney after doing the High Sierra Trail. And then when she turned 21 during COVID, we did the John Muir Trail. So those would probably be two real highlights for me.
wonderful. And next, okay, what is something that most people don't know about your past, your pre-teaching past?
I was an avid skater, skateboarder, and when I was teaching at Washington Intermediate School, I dropped in on a 12-foot half pipe, fell straight to the ground. Um, I got a severe concussion, had amnesia for 2 days, um, broke some ribs, had a
Wow.
punctured lung, ended up in the hospital, and then when I got out, I kept skating, and I was already teaching.
That's cool. You sound like Tony Hawk right now.
Oh my goodness, I wish.
What is a movie that you could watch 1,000 times?
Oh my goodness. There are so many. What is a movie that I could watch 1,000 times? Um, oh my gosh, why can't I remember the name of it right now? I should have written this down. You might have to come back to me on that one. I'm blanking.
You want to skip it?
Well, maybe, or you might have to edit this. Oh, Office Space.
Office Space.
I could watch Office. I think I have watched Office Space. That and Birdcage. I could watch Birdcage. I think I have watched it 1,000 times with Robin Williams.
What is one piece of advice that you would give to your students?
Fall in love with every moment of your life, whether yeah, every moment is should be and is cherished. The ones that are the most difficult, the ones that seem meaningless, embrace the now. It's all we have. Don't miss a single thing.
That's great advice. Next one is about pets, and I can already see a cat behind you. Do you have any pets?
Yes, we have one cat, I have two dogs, and I have a very active fish tank that requires a lot of love and attention. It's a 125-gallon freshwater tank with living plants, and I take care of it all myself. It's a lot of fun.
It sounds like work.
Yeah, yeah, it is. We used to have guinea pigs and a bearded dragon when the kids were younger, but they have since passed.
Oh. What is your favorite recent teaching moment?
Favorite recent teaching moment would definitely be, oh my goodness, there's a lot. But okay, so teaching, not performing. Very often in concert choir, my students and I will end up in the midst of talking about text of a piece that we're performing, and then we will start singing, and the world changes, the room changes, and everybody is telling a story, and the students are so fully engaged that sometimes we stop after when I cut off. Everyone just stands in silence for a while. So I would say those are my favorite moments. For performing, I recently took chamber singers to Cal State Fullerton to a festival. And for the first time, we were supposed to go to Fullerton before the COVID lockdown. And this was the first trip we have taken since. And so we sang on the stage of Ming Hall, which is a glorious place. And it was just an amazing experience. And the students sang so well, and the audience just was robust in their applause. It was quite spectacular.
What classes do you teach?
Okay, so I teach concert choir, chamber singers, a beginning and intermediate voice class that are combined. The voice class is combined. I teach applied music, which is for music majors. It's where they do their private voice lessons, and then once a week we come together for master class and they sing for each other. I also do the Visalia Community Chorus, which isn't a class that I teach, but it's something on Tuesday nights. And then I teach online classes, or sometimes face-to-face, depending, but this is not every semester. Music appreciation, history of rock, music fundamentals. Yeah, I think that's it.
Nice. On a long weekend, where do you like to go?
Two places. One would be the mountains. I'm an avid hiker, backpacker. I used to rock climb, but I want to see my children grow up, so I I stopped that. We had a couple close calls when I was climbing. And then the other place would be, we have a trailer, like a mobile trailer, that we love to go stay at Pismo.
Yeah.
But definitely the mountains would be the number one.
Okay. Would you say that you're the type of person that does it now or waits until the last minute?
It's a bit of both. I am definitely, unfortunately, definitely a procrastinator. But then there are things that trigger my brain, and I have to do it now. and it actually ends up causing me to procrastinate in other things. So once I get my brain locked onto something, I will end up really locked in, and I do a deep dive on things, and then it causes me to put other things off that I probably should be doing. So I guess I should say procrastinator.
It sounds like selective procrastination.
It absolutely is.
All right. If you weren't teaching, what is another career that you would pursue?
Motivational speaking, probably,
Nice.
but that's something I could do. But if I had my choice of another career, it would be performing, probably Irish folk music. So I play the penny whistle. I have multiple penny whistles. I play during COVID, I purchased a set of handmade Irish uilleann pipes, which are bellows-driven bagpipes. So I have Scottish bagpipes, I have Scottish small pipes, and then I have uilleann pipes. That would be a dream to be able to sit in a pub at night and play Irish music.
Nice. What is your late policy in your classes?
I tend to get very frustrated that students, late work or
Late work policy. Mhm.
I'm incredibly lenient, far too lenient. But I just, for me, if a student does it and they're learning, and I try to be understanding, if I feel like I'm being taken advantage of, I would rather talk to the person than just assume. So I'm incredibly lenient.
And then the question that's related to that is, what is your absence policy?
I get very frustrated, but I also always, students tend to be frightened of me, I think, for some reason, but I always want to talk to them. I want to find out what's going on. I get really annoyed at excessive tardiness, but I try to work with everyone, and I try to create an environment where, how about we say this? I try to create an environment where no one would want to be late.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it seems like for music and choir, you pretty much have to be there, present.
Oh yeah, there's no, I don't Zoom for choir. I
Yeah.
mean, we did during COVID, but yeah, so I mean, I really need people to be there. It's not like you can be doing this work on your own. I mean, they do work on their own, but it's not the same.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What is your favorite anxiety reliever?
Oh, probably playing music that is not related to my core. So the Irish music. Number one would be spending time on the treadmill or outside hiking. But I can't always do that. So we
Yeah.
have a treadmill at the house, and I'll just walk, or I'll play music, or I'll clean my fish tank, things like that.
Okay. What is one inanimate object you would take to a desert island?
My After a knife, probably my penny whistle. It's the thing that is probably has the best chance of surviving something like that and lasting a long time, and it's also the easiest to play and just enjoy.
Nice. I knew you were going to say a musical instrument. All right. In your office, would you say the decor is minimalist or maximalist?
I would say more minimalist.
Mm-hmm.
I have pictures of, this is not my office, this is at home, and this is a little bit more there's like stuff everywhere. But I have a few pictures of family and some awards and things like that, but it tends to get messy, and then I need to clean it. I can't handle. Yeah.
Sounds like somewhere in the middle.
Yep. Yeah, I think so.
What's your favorite thing about your job?
My favorite thing about my job would absolutely be the moments that students feel like they can survive. Every moment where we get to make a connection through the music or personally, every time that somebody is struggling and they make it through another day, or if they're already having a great day and the music makes it even better, that would definitely be it.
What is the biggest obstacle that you would remove for your students if you could?
Time constraints and monetary concerns. Oh man, I don't. Maybe I should rephrase that because maybe I should say something else. Family, like there's a lot of pain, so I would love to remove the pain. Maybe it's easier to work if the pain isn't there. Probably pain that is associated with past experiences or current experiences. I would love to be able to take that away from them.
Yeah. Okay. And what would you say is the best thing about being a union member?
Oh my goodness. The best thing about being a union member is that I feel like we, if I need to and when I need to, I can stick up for myself. More importantly, I can stick up for my students for what is best for their future. And I know that I have a group of mostly like-minded colleagues that even though we maybe don't always agree on everything, we all certainly agree that we're going to work together for each other and for the students. I think that's just spectacular that we have a really secure way to stand up for what we believe is right for the students.
Great answer.
Yeah.
And that was our last question. But I did want to ask if there was anything going on in your department that you would want to tell us about.
Yes, there are three main things coming up. One is a larger event that includes theater arts and instrumental and vocal music. That's our musical, Beauty and the Beast. Mm-hmm. It's going to be outside, so it's going to be different because of COVID. When we were setting all this up, we didn't know what the restrictions were going to be. So it's actually going to be in the quad outside for free on May 5, 6, and 7. Semi-staged, but a full 32-piece orchestra, all student cast, beautiful singing, wonderful costuming by James McDonnell. Mm-hmm. Chris Mangles has been building the set and also building puppets for it. It's going to be quite a spectacle. So that's Beauty and the Beast.
Sounds fun.
Through 7th. Mm-hmm. My spring choral concert is going to be May 11 at 7:30 p.m. in the theater. And this year it's actually, I'm glad I'm getting to talk to you because this is going to be really special. We are doing a major work, which is about 25 minutes, called with my chamber singers, called The Journey of Harriet Tubman. Uh-huh. And it is a local composer from Bakersfield, Dr. Ron Keene, has written this work journaling Harriet Tubman's life. So freeing slaves and the things that she went through, and it's all sung through spirituals. And Dr. Keene is going to be playing kalimba, which is an instrument that is used by the African peoples to interact with their ancestors. Mm-hmm. So it includes kalimba and marimba and choir, and then our own Rebecca Burns is the soloist playing Harriet Tubman, and she is truly spectacular. Cool. And then our concert choir, we chose music from everybody's heritage. So we have a Brazilian piece, we have a Scottish piece, we have a Middle Eastern piece, and we have been exploring what it means to be an American. And then we're ending with America the Beautiful. But just to say, like, we are all of our heritages are still valuable, and it doesn't take away from being an American. It's what makes America even better. So that'll be really special on May 11th, and then May 12th is the COS Spring Band Concert. And Mike Tackett is a spectacular conductor. If you've never heard the band, you should really go. And Mr. Tackett and I have actually worked together for 18 years. So
Nice.
we were both at El Diamante High School before we came to COS.
Cool. So there's a few things coming up that people should go to.
Yeah, three things. May 5th through 7th is Beauty and the Beast. May 11th is the choir concert. And May 12th is the band concert.
Well, thank you for talking with us today, John. It was great to hear about you.
Yes, thank you so much. Bye.